Ahead of Election Day this November, the pro-life Susan B. Anthony list will visit more than 2 million homes across the battleground states. A number of those pro-life canvassers include a group of devout Catholic college students from the Franciscan University of Steubenville. I had the chance to walk alongside some of them last week as these young people work to protect our youngest. A big part of the college experience is meeting new people. But this is not in the way you'd expect.
We're a pro-life nonprofit organization. I'm just walking around your neighborhood today talking to people about the upcoming election in October.
Okay.
Do you have some time to talk?
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Emily Coyle just started her senior year at the Franciscan University of Steubenville in Ohio. She's one of a handful of students from the Catholic college who traveled to nearby West Virginia last week to share pro-life information door to door.
Would you want your state senator, Joe Manchin, to confirm Brett Kavanaugh?
I don't really know that much about Brett Kavanaugh.
Okay, I was just at a house and the woman was telling me it's so great to see a young woman out here, you know, spending your time doing this, and she was just genuinely surprised.
It's all part of the pro-life Susan B. Anthony list ground game to visit more than 2 million homes across battleground states ahead of Election Day 2018.
Actually looking at another human being, look them in the eye and talk to them, actually seems to have more impact.
A political consultant to the pro-life group says the face-to-face breaks through the noise.
When I first got involved in politics, we called people on the phone and they were delighted to talk to us. Can you imagine? Nowadays, you can call 100 people and you're lucky if 3 will talk to you. So what we found is the door-to-door is much more effective.
But if you walk and talk with these students, you quickly realize it's not political strategy driving their footsteps.
I really treat it as a prayer because I'm sharing Christ's love with people. Doing the work really is a prayer, and sometimes I'll find myself saying psalm verses and stuff to myself, or like praying right before I enter a house to know that it's really all in Christ's hands.
Canvassing can be a little tough, you know, when it's hot and you're, you know, maybe somebody's rude to you, and then you realize and you have that like one encounter, and like it really, when I have a good encounter with someone, it's like I had that opportunity, like I said, to speak that truth to them and to be, you know, Christ to them in that way and to bring that truth. And for me, that's what it comes down to.
These students see themselves as evangelizers, encountering strangers, each one getting involved in the pro-life movement for their own personal and powerful reasons.
I have known someone who's gone through the decision to abort a baby or not.
My mother, she was actually a teenage mom. She got pregnant with me at the age of 17, decided to have me after being pushed to have an abortion.
A few years back, my cousin, she was born with trisomy 13 and she died after a month. And so that just kind of put me into a mindset, like I've always been pro-life, but that just made me think about, wow, like even though she was there for a month, she impacted like my whole family.
I met this group of atheists that still thought that the pro-life movement was worth it and that the human life had dignity and it was something that we should fight for. And seeing someone that didn't believe in God still say, this is a person, we need to stop this, that had a big impact on me.
Whatever the reason, these students know they're not alone along the journey.
You know, I say like little prayers sometimes, like, Jesus, help me get through this, like this is for you, this is something way bigger than me, you're just using me.
I usually go right to the Blessed Mother.
The intercession of the Blessed Mother, just because her fiat and her yes was so beautiful.
A lot of times I focus on the prayer to St. Michael because this is a battle we're in right now. It's like we're taking up arms for people that can't defend themselves.
These driven disciples took their beliefs to the road, also attending pro-life rallies held in the same town, which is where we caught up with a professor from Franciscan.
And so to see all the students here shows me that part of what we're teaching is actually having an effect on the students' lives. They're living it out. They realize that this isn't just something speculative that you consider in the classroom, but it's something that ends up sort of terminating or ending in your feet on the pavement.
One door at a time.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate what you guys are doing.
These students hope their message hits home.
It's just so important to defend the human life because that is what it all comes down to. If we do not defend our right to life and defend the innocent who have no voice to speak for themselves, then what are we as a society?